Myself and my husband, Jared, were trying to have a baby for 6 months, and I was publicly TTC. And during that time, I heard every suggestion under the sun. Roll around in the bed of a pregnant lady. Don't take any herbs. Take these herbs. Meditate, hydrate, percolate, twerkulate, circulate. So I just wanted to share some fun, interesting, non-tutorial stories from other people and share my story with you. But before we get to that, can I please take a second to shout out my sponsor, Audible, on this video. This video is sponsored by Audible, who is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. Now members, and that includes people on Audible's 30-day free trial, get 1 audiobook a month plus access to all of the Audible original monthly selections. That means more access to podcasts, guided wellness programs, theatrical performances, and A-list comedy. The 30-day Audible free trial is legit the only way that I know of that you can listen and keep my audiobook, The Game of Desire, read by me, for free. Don't forget that May and June I'm hosting free live online workshops for The Game of Desire, so now is the time to get started on this offer if you've yet to do so. All you gotta do is go to audible.com/shanboody, or if you're in the US, text shanboody to the number 500-500. That's audible.com/shanboody, or text shanboody to 500-500.
Myself and my fiance had been living in our car for a little over 2 years, working full-time in Orlando, Florida. But you know when you have that feeling when you look at somebody and you're kind of like, ooh, I could have your baby. That was that. And 9 months today.
I have 3 children. All 3 of our children were planned. I went by the book. I was checking my temperature, checking the cervix. And I was like, this is the time we need to have sex. We need to do it right now so we can get pregnant.
My wife and I successfully got pregnant with this cup, this syringe, and of course a young man with a very key ingredient that we needed to successfully become pregnant. I am now 6 months pregnant.
My pregnancy was unplanned, and I found out I was pregnant 7 months into the pregnancy simply because the baby just started kicking.
I had a naturally planned pregnancy. I meditated with the carnelian stone, a yoni egg, and I just wished the best over my womb, and whatever was supposed to happen was going to happen for my partner and I. And then that was in May, and then in October we conceived our rainbow baby.
I actually lost my grandmother in August. It was in October, and my sister calls me and she's like, I had a dream that you're pregnant. Grandma told me you're pregnant. A week later, my husband bought me champagne, and I could not drink the champagne for the life of me. It turns out she was right. I was pregnant.
I was tracking my ovulation very closely. I know the day, the time, and position he was conceived, as crazy as it sounds.
At that time, me and my partner, we were not ready, and we did use protection like halfway through making love, but my baby is 6 years old now.
I'm 30 weeks pregnant. I was really proud of my ability to know exactly when to have sex and when not to have sex, because I thought I knew my body so well. But me and my partner decided to ignore it once, and secretly I thought I may just be infertile. However, I'm 30 weeks now.
I was very methodical. I read everything about being pregnant. We have to do it then when I'm ovulating, and make sure sperm stays in this long and all. So I was very just obsessive almost with it. Took the fun completely out of it. And I remember every month not getting pregnant, and I was getting really sad about it. And I was talking to a coworker who just had a baby, and she's like, don't think about it. Just don't think about it. Just do it. And that's it. And honestly, that's the month that I got pregnant. That was in May.
The one thing that I learned very early on in my trying to conceive journey is that there is no one size fits all, one road for all hopefuls, or one road for all non-hopefuls. For that, what has worked for 99% of people not to conceive, decimal 1% of person, that's how they ended up with a baby. That to say, the best thing you can do is listen to all information with a grain of salt. If you have access to a healthcare provider, please talk to them. All right, so without further ado, here is precisely what Jared and I did in the month of February, which is the month that I conceived the life that is currently growing in my body and the life that I'm cheering on every single day. I'm not going to list any brands in this video. If you are curious, you can text me and I don't mind sharing with you. So first and foremost, we started taking prenatals very early. After my video with Dr. Rishma, she had mentioned that. And also when I had my IUD removed in September, the doctor then told me that if we were trying to conceive, that taking prenatals before is important. Now, I've read mixed reviews about the effectiveness of prenatals, but it definitely doesn't hurt. By and large, I took a prenatal that was a multivitamin that had folic acid in it. And again, I was taking that since September. In February, I conceived. The other thing that I started doing 3 months prior that I think was beneficial to me, in all honesty, I took this pill. It was an over-the-counter hormonal balancing pill. And I took it because my acne was out of control and I had read that it was great for acne, and they actually used to have on the bottle that it also helped with fertility. They removed that because a lot of people, don't want acne, but they also don't want a baby. But I read in the review section that it also helped a lot of people to conceive. So by the time February had come around, my skin has started to clear up and I had just finished my 3rd bottle of that hormone balancing over-the-counter supplement. What we also did during that month is ovulation track. So I just bought a box, a really cheap box online. It was like $15 for like 100 ovulation strips. And essentially it's just something that you pee on to see if there is a particular hormone present, and that hormone is indicative that you are ovulating during that time. And if you watched my video with Dr. Rishma, you're aware that your ovulation window is a lot smaller than you think.
People don't realize you can't get pregnant all month long. So there's a certain window of time when you actually can get pregnant and where it's more likely. And that is when you release an egg. So your body releases an egg, it's called ovulation. Your egg is released and hangs out in your body for maybe 12 to 24 hours, depending on your body and the cycle. And that's the day you can get pregnant. So you have a window of opportunity of plus or minus 5 days because the sperm can hang out in your body. So that's sort of the basic, this is how your body works. You can't get pregnant every day of your cycle.
The other things that we did is we used a lubricant that was called Preseed, and you have to inject it into yourself like a turkey baster. So like you shoot it up into your vaginal canal, and it's supposed to aid and make it easier for the sperm to swim. Now, when a woman is ovulating, she might have that egg white discharge, and that egg white discharge is there to make it easier for the sperm to be mobile. And so Preseed lubricant is to mimic that same discharge that happens naturally for many people, and to give the sperm an easier time. The third thing, or the fourth thing, lost count, that we did is usually, and I say this all the time, every time that I have sex, we get up and we go to the bathroom together. Immediately after sex, again, maybe like roughly like 30 seconds afterwards, like once all the pulsing is finished, we're like, that was great, let's go. So I go to the toilet, he goes to the sink. I go to the toilet and I pee. I've gotten really good at like, that's done, and now you're out of my body. Because if you have before, not dispelled, if you've had sex without a condom and somebody has shot up in you, you know that it tends to seep down and it's a little gross. So I had developed a great skill of just my PC muscles, and so even when we were trying to conceive, because I had read that a lot, that it really was inconsequential to try to keep as much sperm as possible, and it really was, not going to make a difference. You didn't have to roll around on your back doing like the happy baby pose. And so I just took that literally, and I just kept up with my same routine. After we would have sex, we would get up, I would go to the bathroom, I would pee, and then I would expel. So now, for February, I did not expel. I would still go pee and wipe up, but I wouldn't bear down. And then I put on period panty underwear, which is the reusable pad-like underwear, and I would go to sleep with that on. And I've heard people who put a tampon in afterwards. Again, this is part of the advice that I got, but I did not remove any additional sperm from my body after, we had finished trying. And that is what the recipe was. Why I think this is interesting to share, because the number one advice that I got from people when they found out we were trying to conceive was, don't think about it. Like, don't get too heady, just have fun, just relax, enjoy the process. Me and my partner were not thinking about it, or for some people, we were using IVF, or we're same sex and we were using surrogate, and we never put the pressure on, and when we stopped thinking about it, that's when it happened. And I think that's a really beautiful story, and something I hear a lot from people, a lot of different areas in life. With love, don't think about it. With trying to get a dream job or trying to get a dream house, like, don't put the pressure on, just relax and it will come to you. That's never been my story. It's just, and who knows, maybe at this point I've manifested that not to be my story through always expecting things to be very difficult for me. And difficult's not the right word. I just always have to have a process. Ease is always the result of extreme preparation, of extreme research, of a system that I have put into place, and that I have a flow with that, and as a result, ease comes. But most things in life, be that my career, my speech, my immigration process, my process to finding the love of my life, none of that was just happened. None of it was the result of me not thinking about it. My whole life and my career is about me researching, understanding, applying that knowledge, trying and testing different methods, and then seeing a result. So I'm actually I'm proud of the way that we conceived. And I'm proud of it because it was so intentional. And a lot of you guys are well aware that I'm 35 right now, so I'm naturally a high-risk pregnancy. I am like an elderly pregnant woman. So I'm in a high-risk category because of my age. And literally, as we were trying to conceive, that was something that I kept thinking about a lot. Like, wow, I waited too long. Or, wow, this is just proof that, I had to push myself a little sooner. But if I'm dead ass honest with you, I really didn't know for sure that I wanted kids until December 2019. Like that, by that time we had 3 periods that came, and we didn't try for September, October, November. We just saw what would happen and didn't think about it, and we weren't purposeful. But when those 3 months passed and we weren't trying, and I had no birth control method, and I wasn't conceiving, that's when I really started to be like, this hurts. Why does it hurt? What am I feeling right now? What is it that I want? And why do we want a child? And what really came up through that experience of trying and not succeeding was will and a desire. And I realized what I really wanted, why I wanted a kid so bad, is because at this point in my life, I have so much to share. I have an amazing relationship. I have an amazing husband who I think would be a tremendous father. We have a beautiful life together. We have an incredible family, a great support system. I'm proud of where I am in my career. I'm proud of who I am as a human being. I'm proud of what I know and what I can pass on, and I want to share that. And I get to share that in many ways with all of you, which I'm so grateful to do. But there's obviously different layers to sharing, and this to me is the ultimate share. And I'm literally sharing my body right now. So that is our trying to conceive story. I really thought this would be a short video, but you guys know me, I chat. I have to say a massive thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here for me on this journey in the various different ways that you all have showed up. It has made all of the difference. I have learned so much. I have learned about mothering, supporting, being a good community member. I have learned about love, specifically in being public about this trying to conceive journey. And as we continue on growing together, I anticipate nothing short of that, and I will do my best to uphold my end of the bargain for you. Speaking of my end of the bargain, I'm finally going to be doing free live digital book clubs. I used to have something called the Big Ass Book Club, and I was traveling to cities and doing this like talk for people where I would guide you through exercises and dialogue points, you know, that are inspired by the game of desire. And now I'm going to be doing that for free. So please find out more information about that in just a second as I tell you more about the Audible promotion. Also, Audible has a crazy free promotion that is happening right now that you don't want to miss.
While schools are out, Audible will be open. They launched a special website where anyone, anywhere can stream hundreds of titles completely free, no strings attached, at stories.audible.com. Also, like I said, I am finally going to be doing a free virtual book club for the Game of Desire this May and June. So if you want to learn more about that, visit the info box. And of course, please take advantage of Audible's 30-day free trial that gets you one audiobook for free and access to Audible's monthly selections. To do so, all you gotta do is head to audible.com/shanboody. If you're in the US, text shanboody to 500-500. Again, that's audible.com/shanboody or text shanboody to 500-500.
Oh, one final thing, because you knew we had to do this, in the comment section below, if you have ever gotten pregnant or your partner has ever gotten pregnant before and you don't mind sharing how that came to be, whether you did or you didn't try, please write it down below.
I'm a daddy.